Did you know that you don't have to eat fish to get omega-3 fats? It's also in walnuts and flaxseed. I've known a couple of people that have had to have bypass surgery because they thought they needed to eat fish. The recipe today is one that doesn't require any measuring. It's very easy and it goes really quickly once you get your nuts ground. And the way I'm going to grind the nuts today is a way that keeps from damaging the fat. You don't want to damage the fat in your nuts because then they become bad for your health instead of good for your health. Now you could use maybe a champion juicer or some other machine that is especially dedicated for that purpose, for making almond butters or nut butters. But they often create a lot of heat. So what I use is this little Cuisinart mini prep. And here's how we do it. I often like to make mixed nut butters, put a variety in there. This is almonds. I'm going to put some almonds in here. Now they're kind of a hard nut and they can be not quite as creamy as you would want in a nut butter when you're not heating it up. So what I do is I put some softer nuts in. I'm going to put some pecans in. And then for the real creamy part of it, I'm going to put in some macadamias. The macadamias will give you that creaminess that will kind of bind all the ground nuts together. Now this process takes a little time and a little effort, but it is well worth it because it preserves the fat in the nuts. Now they will start to work their way up the side and they get to the point where the blades are not really being very effective. So occasionally you have to turn it off, remove the lid and kind of push things down, loosen them up a little bit. And one thing you don't want to do is overload the machine because it can kill it. You don't want to do any more than what I have here. It's now beginning to thicken up and turn into a butter. The next step is to mix your fruit. You can use a wide variety of fruit. Today I have some apples and pears and a mango and a kiwi, a banana, some frozen pineapple and some cranberries. And these are some homegrown blackberries. And you can just make it whatever color you want and whatever flavor you like. I'm going to use the blackberries and the apples and pear, and I think I'll throw in a few cranberries and pineapple. And you want to cube your apples so that they get integrated easily into the mix. I didn't used to like pears when I was a kid. The only kind of pears I remember ever having were canned pears, canned Bartlett pears, and I found them to be rather unpleasant. But I more recently learned that other pears have much different texture and different flavors. This is one of my favorites. This is a boss pear. I found out also that fresh Bartletts are much better than the canned. So we're going to put a pear in there. And I'm going to put a few of these in just for color and a little bit of pizzazz. When choosing your fruit, you want to make sure that what you have is not going to make it really runny. So if you have a really wet fruit, you might want to balance it out with maybe some dried fruit, like dried apricots or something like that. Those will help thicken it up. The next step is to put some date sugar in. And here's the date sugar that I buy. I buy it in bulk, 5-pound buckets. And it's a lot cheaper that way. I get it from Shields Dates. And they're a really good company to do business with. And I've put in about half a cup in there. That'll sweeten up the cranberries. And I think I'll throw a banana in there too. Bananas are a great food for traveling because when you buy it, you don't have to wash your hands to eat it. You can just peel it and eat as you go, which makes it really nice for travel. And they don't require refrigeration. Now, for this we're going to need the tamper. Start out on a low speed and work our way up. I'm going to have a little sample to see how it is. Good. The next part is to slice your bread. We have a loaf of our homemade bread, and for the recipe for this you'd look for our delicious olive bread recipe. Probably about 2 or 3 slices of this bread will be about right for one hungry person. And you want to eat a big breakfast so you don't get hungry throughout the day. This will give you the energy and help your mind to function without needing something like caffeine to make you perk up. Now it's ready to eat, and we're going to have John demonstrate how to do it.
First we take the nut butter and spread it on your toast. Make sure that you spread it only on one side of the toast, not on the bottom. It can get awfully messy. And then you add your topping, the fruit topping. And don't forget, enjoy. Delicious.
One little thought on storing your nut butter is you want to get a little mason jar or canning jar and put it in the refrigerator with a good tight fitting lid. That'll help preserve it so that the fats don't become oxidized.
Hey Pumpkin, say hello. Good breakfast, huh?